Hilo, thank you very much. Put your moments, we are packed. We are packed right now, make some noise.
Put you guys out together, reason. Lanakila, really easy. Come on. Mahalo, Lanakila Mangauil.
Here's Lanakila Mangauil. Very much. Good evening. It's an honor to be able to be welcome to come and speak, to share Manao, which is all I'm doing. I'm just sharing Manao. Those who may not know me, my name is Joshua Lanakila Mangauil. I was born and raised in Wakea. I'm a graduate of Kano Ka'aina, the first of the Hawaiian charter schools that opened up in the year 2000. I graduated in 2004 and became a teacher in 2005. I'm a teacher, I'm an educator of our Hawaiian culture, a Hawaiian studies teacher with Honaka'a Elementary. I taught kindergarten all the way to college levels, just to share and continue the traditions of our people, with the importance of understanding and finding our place in the 21st century. I guess I'm kind of well known now because I ran up a mountain. I am one of the Po'olaka'is, one of the head leaders in the Mauna Kea movement. It's kind of, I'm just an instigator, I think. I just ran. And I just have no filter and I just speak my truth. Which is become the claim of the words that come from the mountain to our people is kapu aloha me kapoiai. And so kapu aloha, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Because as we're moving forward today as Kanaka Maoli, as native peoples of this land, and as Kama'aina, just people who love this land. What does that mean, sovereignty? What does that mean, independence? In some cases, we might be too stuck in a political realm we forget our human rights, our sovereignty, our individual sovereignty. I think that's where it begins. It begins with the individual sovereignty. Every single one of us needs to understand our role. Not just what that means in a political language, but what that means as a living species, a living being on this planet in this day and age. And so something that the Mauna has called to us all as a conscious, hey hon, that the mountain has kind of awakened for us here. Mauna Wakea is what we refer to as a piko. Now, there's a lot of deeper levels of thinking now when it comes to piko. And that's something fortunate that I've been able to learn having come from the Hawaiian Charter School movement, where I'm a product of all the sacrifice of those elders who came before us. So in my father's time, my grandparents' time, a lot of things were not allowed. You weren't allowed to speak the language. You weren't allowed to do a lot of these things. And it comes back, it really comes back from the time where it was actually outlawed. It was illegal to speak the language. It was illegal to do the hula or the chants. And all those things, those are the customs, those are the traditions that taught us our history and our language and our knowledge. Kept all of that. So when you're kept from that, you begin to lose your way. And there was only those strongholds of Kanaka who were able to practice and continue these things in hiding, in secrecy. One of the first guys who was able to break us out of that a little bit was King Kalakaua. And it's because of his journey around the world when he saw all the other ethnic people performing, even though they're considered civilized people now, they still held on to their traditional practices and their dances and their songs. And so when he came back home, he was like, what the hell, I'm going to bring mine back. And he called for the hula and the chants to be brought back out of hiding. And with that came all the knowledge of our kupuna again. All of our ike and our understanding of how our environment works. because that's our spirituality. There is no separation between our being an environmentalist and a Hawaiian. There's no such thing. If you are living by a Hawaiian, by traditional native practices, your wisdom, your spiritual practice is your environmental science. It's the environmental understanding. That's why the culture is so important. Wait, I'm on a timeline here. What am I? Step 1, step 2, step 3. Yeah. So I am a product of those kupuna that had to keep these things going in hiding. And then they were able to come onto the light. But even though after Kalakaua's time, the hulas and everything came back up. But after, with more coming of more Westerners and the American influence predominantly, and then the overthrow of our nation, there's more ways of subduing our people. Yes, our hula were continued, but then they became bastardized. They began to take away its origins. Like remove all the spiritual belief and just shake your butt around and all that kind of stuff, because now you had a whole bunch of military coming in and they want entertainment. And so they bring in our wahine, our women, and they kind of like almost kind of said men don't dance hula anymore, it's just a woman's thing. And so you come out in your grass skirt and you coconut bra, which I don't know where the hell that came from, and entertain the guys on the ship. And that's where our hula became. It just became Kodak hula to entertain tourists. So they diminished our cultural practice down to that level. And again, back in hiding were those who were trying to continue those deeper teachings. And so mahalo to those kupuna who fought on. Back in the 70s, you had the beginning of the Renaissance, the Hawaiian Renaissance. You had standing up to protect the island of Kaho'olawe. You had the building of the hokulea, the voyaging canoe, that was able to prove our intelligence through navigation. And with that, you had that whole spark that rose our people back up again to a level of knowing it. Because for so long, like even my grandma, I remember her talking about people saying, if you're Hawaiian, you're stupid. That was what the teachers would tell them in school. Straight up. It's exactly the words. And so there was this total diminishing. And to our point, our kupuna, they never liked to speak the language. They felt shame. And it was like, they wouldn't tell their Hawaiian, go marry Hawaiian. It's Hawaiian, go marry Pake. Or go marry Haole. Try go get, to yourself where you can get yourself to a higher status in society. So it became a shame to be Hawaiian. And so these are the stories that I was raised hearing by our kupuna. But yet they still endured. And when the Renaissance took off, that helped to lift it. And we realized our intelligence and we began to reclaim that. And so we understood our level of education. And then it moved into in the 80s and the early 90s, the push for Hawaiian education. Catch this. Okay, it's a little history that I think, we gotta pay attention. I'm all a person about Ho'ai Rona, you watch your signs. Turns out, in the whole movement to try and encourage Hawaiian education, in legislation, there were two particular people in legislation that really pushed and supported the Hawaiian Charter School education movement. Guess who they were? You gotta tread. David E. Gay and Mike McCartney, the Chief of Staff today. These are the same individuals who helped to push Hawaiian education and fought for Hawaiians' right for Hawaiian self-determined education. And now, lo and behold, they're our governor and chief of staff. So, gotta watch those kind of things. Interesting how it comes around.
What happened to them?
I don't know. You talk story with them. It's interesting. But so with that, I'm a product of that. And so back in 2000, Kano'okaina, the first of the Hawaiian charter schools opened up, which is Hawaiian culture-based education. And so there's many like where we still hit all of our academics, but we did so on the platform of our traditional knowledge, knowing our land base. It's a little difficult because you go to a regular school today where they teach our third graders about water cycle. What they do, they throw up one poster. And there's like this sharp peak mountain with an eagle flying and a bunch of pine trees and salmon in a river. Our children don't identify with that. What is that? That's not our place. Kano gave us, the Kano'okaina, that school I went to, took us the opportunity. We took us outside. We looked at Mauna Kea. We followed Kohakohau stream. And we went down to Wai'ulaula. So at the same time we actually learned our sciences, we learned our own home. we learned our own backyard. And with that, tethered to that was all the mo'olelo, all the stories and the history. So we really knew our home first. And that's our foundation. So we're not growing up now with our foundation being knowledge from a place halfway across the other side of the planet. Our knowledge base is our own home base. And so that's what the charter is. It's home-based education. Yeah, so you get to feel and you can identify with your knowledge and your ike with everything around you. So that is the first step, I feel, of sovereignty. Know your own backyard. Know how your own environment works. Know that. Because if you don't know how it works, then somebody's going to come from outside and say, oh no, well we can just go ahead and we're gonna put a dam on this river and send it this way and it'll all be good. And because you don't know any better, you might just go, oh okay. Okay? So education is a key to sovereignty. We can't skip over all these steps and just try to go to a political arena. You number one foundation of who you are, where you come from, or the exact land that you're fighting for, you have no place talking in the political arena. Gotta know the papa first. You need to have a foundation to live upon. So when we talk about our kingdom and stuff like that too, well that takes a lot of knowledge and understanding of knowing what that meant. You know? Our monarchy was actually very short. Little, maybe 100 years. That was all of our time of a monarchy. Prior to that, the system that lasted for, like 2,000 years, proven and tested over and over, was our kapu system. And ranks of ali'i. And the ali'i basically was about home rule. That's the main thing. It's all a process of home rule. A person of that place was the ali'i of that place. Why? Because he know that place. So it's basically that home rule idea really coming back down to there. And if they needed kokua, they can go talk to the next level up chief who maybe has under him a whole district under his kuleana, his responsibility. And if they couldn't malama, then they go talk to the next higher up chief who maybe has a whole apana underneath him. If that doesn't work, they go to the next chief who has the whole moku, a whole district under him. If that don't work, then they go talk to the top man, the ta'ali inui, who malama the whole. So there's different systems. There's different systems that we can look at as Kanaka Maoli. But for me, Mauna Kea has been the best example of where we need to go as, not only as a people, as if just Kanaka Maoli, but as a race of a species on this planet. There are species on this planet. Mauna Wakea. Okay, so I would say it's a piko. Now we hear the generic term of that word, what the piko means. What does that? They say belly button. Okay? You get 3 picos on your body. Piko, the idea in the mana of the word piko, it is a centered point of mana. A central and focused point of mana and energy. The top of a cliff is called a piko. The top of a mountain is called piko. The crown of your head is a piko. This is a piko, and even your ma'i, your genitalia is a piko. So what is a piko? Again, focus, energy of mana. The crown of our head, we believe this is where our connection to our kupuna, to our ancestors, our aumakua, our guardians, our akua, our spiritual, whatever your spiritual background is. This is where that energy comes in through here. The manama. So the baby, when the baby born, the soft spot. We used to feed the baby from the crown of their head. And then that's the Piko Maluna. The Piko Maluna, as it connects you to all that, connects you to your ancestors. So in time, this is our connection to our past. The Piko Mawaina, the Piko in the center. This one is actually the one that had the physical aka, the physical cord coming from us. This one connected us to our mother. Whatever our mother imbibed or drank, smoked, whatever, goes into the baby. And as it is a tradition of our people, when after the baby is born and the umbilical, when it dries and falls off, we take that and we put it on the aina someplace. We put it on the land, a place that's very special to the family. So that way, no matter where we go in life, we know that we have now a spiritual connection all the way back to this place, that we can still draw mana, ike, whatever inspiration from. Especially for this island, particularly mostly you hear throughout a lot of the northern districts. You know where one of the special places was all the picos went? They took the picos up to Lake Wakea and Mauna Kea. And then our pico malalo, so now this physical or this spiritual connection to a place allows us to live in our present, in the now, and it affects us. And right here it comes out of our na'au. You hear the na'au, this is our gut. So you know, we say, oh, listen to your heart. Okay, Hawaiians never have that concept. The heart was an organ that pumps blood. We had a different analogy. We say, follow your na'au. So you know when you go someplace, you're doing something, you get that feeling in your gut like, I don't know. That is our intuition. That is what we follow. We were always told, you follow your na'au, your gut instinct. Because what is that gut? Your na'au is the storage place for all of that eons of knowledge and wisdom that from our kupuna that come in, and now it's stored here. And so in our life, when we actually need to apply it in our daily lives, this is what we listen to. And we follow that. And so when we pull it in, as we do good things, our goal is that we have to live with good practices. We need to live in a good way. Why? Because it's not about us. That's the biggest problem today. We're all thinking about ourselves when we're supposed to be thinking for 7 generations ahead. So my actions of how I conduct myself here and now will become the traits that I will pass on to my children. How does a honu, the turtle, I always love this analogy. When the turtle is born out of the beach, the baby, for somehow, the mother went pop him in the sand and she left. But yet, when that honu puka out of the sand, it knows, go to the ocean. How the hell does it know what an ocean is? It knows, follow the moon. How the hell does it know what a moon is? But it goes automatic and just does it. And when the female turtles are ready to lay their own eggs, they will always return to the same beach that they were born. Mama was not there teaching them that. How do they know? Instinct. Instinct is built upon generations of repeated practice. So the turtles had, a couple million years of repeated practice. Yeah? Same thing, all of our ancestors, no matter where we come from in the world, at one time we were pretty place-based. Yeah? And we knew that place, we know the food of that place, we knew the animals of that place, we knew the weather of that place, we knew how to travel in that place, all these things. And so we became part of that place. And after generation after generation after generation, going through ceremonies, going through cycles, we were all part of these cycles. For so long, all of our people, no matter where, was part of the cycles of that place. So it becomes part of our DNA. It's in our na'au. So even here and now, when we go and do stuff, sometimes we get the feeling and why? Because someplace in our oku au, our ancestors was in the same situation. In those same situations many times, and so now they're like, hello, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Or they're telling you, yeah, go. But we have to follow our na'au. And we have to make sure it's all pono. Why? Because the third piko reminds us of that. The mahi or our genitalia connects us to the future. Our future generations, our descendants. We connect and we pili with our ancestors and our akua to help guide us so that we live pono here in the now. We practice these things in our daily lives here because eventually we're going to pass it on to the next generation. That is what Mauna Kea is for this planet. In our beliefs, Mauna Wakea is the umbilical of the world. It's in the big ocean, Pacific. And the Mauna sticks out high. One of the highest points that stretches out into Uli. Uli is when you go outside and you go see that blackness of the heavens. That's Uli. Uli Kalani. You know what the word Uli also means? Placenta. The Mauna is the umbilical stretching high and is the actual umbilical cord for the planet. And this is our belief and this is our connection. So, like a good mother, knowing that you are connected to feed the planet, which is the embryo. What happens when we go stick more things in the umbilical? More hanaino in the umbilical cord, upon the umbilical cord. It affects everything down below. Hawaii, we know all about gravity, because no matter where you are in Hawaii, you're on one mountain, you're on a slope. Put something on top, it's coming down. So with that, on a very spiritual level, that's why Mauna Wakea was reserved for the akua, was reserved for the gods. The crown of the summit of the mountain is known as the Wauakua, the realm of the gods where man did not go. Why we never go up there? Because it was the home of Poliahu, the goddess of the snow. What is Poliahu? We have to get past all, I know we have beautiful pictures and stuff nowadays of this woman in the snow, but in the foundation of it, Poliahu is that snow. What is that snow? The highest, purest water. You know who else lives on that mountain? Poliahu and her sisters. Lilinoi, Wayau, Kahopokane, Mo'oinanea, Lihau, Kipuupu, Kuauli. All these deities that lived on the mountain, they are Kinola. Lilinoi is the mist. Wayau is the lake. Kahopokane is the springs and the thunderclouds. Lilinoi is the mist. Lihau is the frost. Kipuupu is the hail. Kuauli is the blizzard. What do they all have in common? All those forms.
Water.
They're all water. So in our foundation, our spiritual practices, and our understanding of the deities of the mountain, it teaches us the hydrology of Mauna a Wakea. That is our science. What is the translation? What is the translation of the word science? The observation of nature. That is how our kupuna observe the motions of water on Mauna a Wakea. And all the deities up there, water. So for us, in the stories too, Poliahu, it was Kapu in the stories, in the myth, Kane, the creator of life, that's all his daughters. And so he says, no man is worthy to touch my daughter. No man will defile my daughter. Okay, good, that's cool. In the stories, he does that kind of stuff. Now translate the story into the practicality. These bolero are not just fables and myths. A lot of people in the world get that kind of stuff. We don't make up stories just for nothing. They get function and purpose. So, what does that translate into? The kapu on the Mauna, in which they say Kane don't like some guy messing around with his daughter, is Poliahu is the pure white snow. Poliahu is the untainted water. Therefore, mortals, as humans, we kind of filthy. Wherever we go, we make mess. So we do not go up unto the highest level, to the most purest, clear water, and make a mess. We don't go up there. Because it's the highest source of the pure water. So if you go to the source and you put contaminant upon the source, it's all contaminated from there. That's how we matabaru, or we look deeper into many levels of these stories. Don't ever take a Hawaiian story literal or as only one level, or it's just a myth or a fable. You gotta dig down into what that means. Okay, sorry, running away with that. So, a couple of other neat points here. Poliahu, who is the woman who is upon the mountain that is called thousands and thousands of our people together at this time. More kuleana, responsibility of this goddess. In that purity that is that snow, in the cold of the mountain, it clears the air. That's one of the reasons why astronomy is so big up there, because it's very clear. The air is clear because of how it works up there. In many of our stories, Poliahu is the oracle of Hawaii. She is the oracle. In many stories where the chiefs and the kahunas could not figure out or decipher what was going on, they make the pilgrimage to the mountain to seek counsel from Poliahu. And so, she is the goddess of clairvoyance as well, of that clarity, the ability to see through all the BS and get right to it, which has really been one of our foundations in this movement, Oyai'o, truth. So we don't want to get caught up in all the mina, all this little stuff that distract us. Clear, right to the action. In one of the stories, had this prince from Kauai who had come over here looking for one wife. He got stuck with the goddess Hina in Maui, but he was like, oh, we'll come back, and go fool around with another goddess over there and try to hook up with Laikawai, and she was like, no. And so he left, and he was coming up along Hamakua, and he saw Poliahu on the cliffs at Okala, and he calls out, he's trying to woo her and everything, and she looks right to him, she goes, what about Hina? What about Laikawai? Did she just kick you out? Oh, all his BS was like, That's the goddess as well. Clarity, truth. And so that is the model that we follow for the mountain. No bullshit. Straight to it. Don't discern or don't waste our time with mea, mina, mina. You know, all these little things here and there, here. Just get right to it, get it done, which is the kapu of the mountain too. Do what you gotta do and get out. We do not linger in the high summits. There is only one, and that mo'olelo comes from our kupuna as well. How do we conduct ourselves on that mountain? It is the story of Kukaha'ula. Kukaha'ula was a high chief who, like many other suitors, tried to go to Poliahu. Yeah? Every time he went up the mountain, the kiai came, stopped him, and turned him away. Came again, turned him away again. Kept coming back. To the point that the kiai were like, oh my God, this poor guy. Go. And then Poliahu heard the stories about this man, and she's like, how come I can't be with this person who shows me such devotion? And she started getting sad. So the guardian one of the kiai got so sad for them that she would go talk to the father. No, he's gotta go talk to them. And so she goes to Kane, who is the creator of life. For us, his main kinolaw body forms is the sun and fresh water. Is that not science? God of life, sun, water. So she goes to talk with Kane. And of course he was like, no, they're not going to be together. But so she tells him to observe. So as Kane Kala takes his journey to the sky every day, he would observe and he'd see this whole thing happen and play out every day. Kuka'ula coming up, the guardians turning away, and Poliahu was sitting up there, sad and lonely. So finally, even Kane's heart softens. And so he allows the kiai to open the path for Kukaha'ula. So next time he comes up, they greet him. And he is taken to Pu'upoliahu. And at Pu'upoliahu, they say Lilinoi, the goddess of the mist, had it concealed. And as he came up to the bluff, the mist opened and there she was, standing in her glory, Poliahu, draped in her finest white kapa, which was the snow of the mountain. And he was in such awe of this goddess that he fell to the ground. He prostrated himself to the earth and thought, what could he possibly offer such a woman of such divinity? And so he offers to her his highest symbol of royal stature, his ahula, his red feathered cloak. And when he offers this to Poliahu, he wraps it around her. And the whole mountain takes on the hue, the colors of that. The pinks, the red, the orange, all begins to illuminate upon the mountain. And for the first time ever, Poliahu is embraced by this man. And they hold each other just for a short time, and then the kiai come. And they say, oh, Kukaha'ula, Kane has granted you this time with Poliahu, but it's now your time to leave. He has granted you access to be able to be together only under his watchful eye. So only when daddy is close. So only when Kane is close to the earth can they be together. But when he gets far, they gotta go. So when Kane rises, when the sun is rising, you see the colors of the mountain, those reds, the purples, the pinks. That's their short time together. But when he gets up high, get out. Then when the sun begins to set again, they can hold each other again. But when he dips down, go out. So yes, Kukaha'ula can hold Poliahu, but he will never defile her. As the daddy would say, defile her. What does that teach us? What is the matabaru of this story? That is how we were taught. This is one of the mo'olelos that we find where we are taught and trained of how we actually are able to access into that realm. How do we do it? As he did. You only access for a short time, and get out. You don't linger on the mountain. And also when you're up there, how do you carry yourselves? In the most humble fashion possible, the most respectful manner. What kind of offerings do you give? Only the highest and the best. So not all kind just go run down to the store, go grab something off the marketplace, go take them out. That's not good enough. Better you just take your heart and your voice, then just go try and whip up some little thing. No, only give the best and the finest, or don't give at all. So that story teaches us how we could actually enter into that realm of the Bawakua without tainting that realm. Since we were able to uphold that for who knows, over 1,000 years. And now in the short time that our people were not able to be in place to kiai or keep the laws of the Kanawai strong to protect that summit, look at the mountain today. We'll ask NASA. NASA's last study on the mountain states it itself. There has been extreme adverse negative impact upon the mountain. That's from NASA. Why? Because they did not listen to the Kanaka. We told them to go. Still they go up there. So, for myself, as we are looking forward to the future of Hawaii and where we want to go, sometimes, actually in many cases, a lot of our answers at what we need to ho'opono, to make right, to heal Hawaii, is not in some new age thing that we gotta go create or we gotta go find on the other side of the planet for try to figure it out. A lot of the answers are right here, in the traditions of our people. I want to close with this. Culture is not created by people. Culture is created by the earth. Humans, all of us, we are water. And water takes on the form of its environment. So, how do we have so many different cultures in the world? Because there are so many different environments in the world. People will adapt, well should, adapt to their environment. That's how most of all of our ancestors in the world lived. Yeah? We became part of it. That's how we have our unique culture. It's created for that place. The unique spiritual practices, religions and stuff came from those places. Why? Because the environment said so. I know, okay, this is no attack at anybody, but again, some things nowadays I see where people stay making all kinds of stuff. I'm like, where did that grow? Well, it grows in Arizona. Well, then that's not a sustainable spiritual practice then if you got to ship it from Arizona every time you got to do a prayer. That don't work. Yeah? So cultures are designed by the place. The different songs or different chants or music and stuff is influenced by the sound of that land, that environment. The world has gone amiss when people have shifted our thinking to. Before, as even how I am taught now, I am who I am in my vahi. But when I go to someone else's place, I abide by their rules. Why? Because that's not my place. It's like I go to someone's house, I never walk into your house and say, okay, these are my rules. No. Honoka people are very different from Hilo people. Hilo people, very different from Kona people. Why? The environment is different. They can go over there to Kona and go learn planting practices, bring to Hilo. Not gonna work. You can try to plant Hilo style in Kona. It's not gonna work. The people adapted when they went to the place. The scourge of the land of the world today is where people, not a matter about go travel, but when they move to a place and instead of fitting into the environment, we now think we are so powerful that we will change the environment to accommodate us. That has been the greatest negative impact onto our planet. And then it just becomes all so uniform and it's so boring to travel nowadays. I had a friend from Austria. I was asking him, you guys will come to Hawaii? They're like, eh. I'm like, we don't come to Hawaii. He's like, if we want beaches, we go to Barcelona. He said, it's America. I was like, ooh. He's like, it's Walmart, Burger King, McDonald's. I was like, oh my God, he's right. Sadly, it's right. It's not unique anymore. You get the same things here as you can get in anywhere else. Because Hawaii is being changed. Every place is being changed to become the same. How boring. So, for me, my stance for sovereignty is the ability for the land, for the people of this land to be able to take care of this land as this land says it's to be taken care of. That's why I'm there. I'm not there for my own political agenda. I could care less who the people are as long as you're taking care of the land. Because the land's going to live on beyond any nation, beyond any kingdom. Kingdoms come and fall. Humans, we've only been up on this planet for a short time and we're going to go. But in that time, how do we malama our mama? How do we take care of our mother? It's our mama. We can learn so much. Instead of coming to a place and saying, I have all the answers for you. Come in and say, teach me, Aina. Let the land teach us. And so each are people all around the world being able to have their sovereign right to take care of the land as the land instructs them to. That's, for me, where as we move forward as a people, we got to get back. Ho'i kapiko. Return to the source. Return to the foundation. Instead of getting lost in all the other stuff, we got to get back to the beginnings. And really the foundation of sovereignty is the ability to feed oneself. So we got to remember that. Yeah. So, thanks for listening to my throw up of knowledge all over you. So, mahalo everybody. Aloha.
Oh, dear. was fun.